Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to this session of our Younger Youth Group You webinar. We come every other Friday with the Younger Youth webinars. They go live, they go do prep sessions, and then they come up with beautiful, relevant, productive, whatever ideas that they have. They come up with the topics and then they prep on it as a group, as a team, and then they go live. And sometimes some topics do amaze me when it comes from them, which maybe we are not aware at all. And one of such topics is today's topic. It was brought to us by Rithvika, who will be a co moderator along with her brother Ruhan. And it was about the global goals. So that's I never knew that there were global goals for sustainable development. And these are so, it almost encompasses everything, every aspect of life, every aspect of what we think for a better earth, for a better place we need. And so we get these global goals, and each of our panelists, they will try to touch upon the points. But if you are joining in on YouTube or Facebook, and if you have any points you think you can add on, please do join the Zoom link and share your ideas as well. And if you have your kid and you want them to join these webinars, these public speaking, getting to know more about getting some virtual friends. Now, this group has become such a good a friendly group that whether there is webinar or whether they can skip one day, but they don't do it. They want to keep it together. They want to talk. They want to have some fun as well while they are learning something new every single week. So with that, all the stage is yours. Absolute honor and happiness to have you all kids here. And today it will be Rithvika and Ruhan moderating the whole webinar. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Julian Auntie. Hi, everyone. It's Rithvika Karri, and I'll be your co-moderator for today's webinar. Today's topic is quite interesting, which is the Sustainable Development Goals, or Global Goals. They're a collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve better and more sustainable future for all. The global goals were set up in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year of 2030. Today, each of our amazing panelists will be sharing their global goals so that we all can see what these goals actually mean and why they are important. Along with me, I have my brother, Ruhan, who will be the co-moderator along with me, and I'm so excited to host this session with him today.
Hello everyone, my name is RUHAAN. I'll be your co-moderator, as my sister said, and I'll be introducing the table of contents. So first, we'll meet our panelists. Next, we're gonna go to our global goals that our panelists are gonna tell us. Next, conclusion, but don't leave yet because we have the interaction and Q&A.
So now, without further ado, let's go ahead and meet our panelists. Hi, everyone. As I said before, my name is Rithvika, and I'll be your co-moderator for today. Some of my hobbies include playing different sports, and my favorite sport is cricket. And also, I like to crochet in some of my free time. I'm in 6th grade in Bullen Park Middle School here in Troy, Michigan. And today I'll be discussing with you guys about climate action, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And in our interactions and Q&A, we'll be also discussing about partnerships for all these goals.
Hi everyone, my name is Rithvika Karri, and I am a 4th grader at Morse Elementary School, and I'm 9 years old. Some of my hobbies include playing cricket and spending time with my sister. And I'll be talking about gender equality and recycling.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tanishka Netaji. I'm a sixth grader at Bowling Park Middle School at Troy, Michigan. And some of my hobbies are I play the flute and I like playing volleyball. So today I will be talking about industry, innovation, and infrastructure, as well as reduced inequalities.
Hi, my name is Aarushi. I'm a third grader and I go to STEAM Academy. Some of my hobbies are singing and dancing. I'll be talking about clean water, sanitation, and equal wealth.
Hello everyone, my name is Rue and I'm 8 years old and I go to Ben Franklin Elementary School. I'm in second grade and some of my hobbies are playing with my brother, dancing, and sometimes ice skating. In today's webinar, I'll be talking about life on land and those precious animals that need help. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ishan and I am in 5th grade and I go to Bentley Elementary. Today I'm going to be talking about life below water.
Hi everyone, my name is Manaswini. I'm 10 years old and I go to 5th grade. Some of my hobbies are playing the keyboard and the violin. Today I'm going to be talking about Goal to Zero Hunger.
Hello everyone, my name is Sean. I'm a fifth grader at Ben Franklin Elementary, and some of my hobbies are playing racquetball and playing the flute. Today I'll be talking about Global Goal 1, no poverty, and Global Goal 11, sustainable cities and communities.
Hi everyone, my name is Nanya and I am 10 years old and I am in 5th grade. Today I'll be talking about the global goals, good health and well-being, and quality education. And I'll be talking about why these are important, how many people are affected. So yeah. Hi, my name is Kashvi, and I'll be talking about Global Goal 14, Life Below Water. And some of my hobbies are singing, playing the guitar, and dancing. And
Now we have our global goals. We have Tanishka talking about industry, innovation, and infrastructure.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tanishka, as I said before. So I'm going to be talking about global goal number 9. I say SDG a lot, and SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goal. So suppose there is a 5-story building, and every building obviously needs a basement. So that's for the ground rules, right? Well, investment in infrastructure and innovation are the base of economic growth and development. With over half of the world population now living in cities, mass transportations and renewable energy are becoming super important. This SDG was made to create of making lasting solutions to both economic and environmental challenges, such as providing new jobs and promoting energy efficiency. Promoting sustainable industries and investing in science research and innovation are all important ways to facilitate sustainable development, which is why industry, innovations, and infrastructure is a goal. So what are the impacts of SDG number 9 if we don't solve it? The impacts of SDG number 9 is that it doesn't you won't get a really nice life. You would have to live with air pollution, not enough resources, and poverty, and etc. SDG number 9 impacts of air pollution, because this can happen when we don't use renewable energy. All the air filled with bad chemicals are going to affect our lungs when we breathe. That's one impact of air pollution. Another impact that SDG 9 can leave on us is not enough resources. If we don't reuse or recycle, we're eventually going to run out of resources. This can eventually end humankind. So make sure you recycle. If you use metal straws and even put a teeny tiny bit of effort, I'm sure that we could save a tree from being cut, and we could have any resource we need if we recycle and reuse all the time. SDG also includes industry, and a big part of industry is jobs. So if we're not going to create more job choices or more job splits by creating new businesses, the high rate of poverty is probably going to rise. What can we do best to solve SDG number 9? The best that we can do is to recycle, use metal straws, use plastic instead of paper or styrofoam, and create more job opportunities by making environmental okay businesses that do not harm the environment. And we should always invest in new. So that is it about industry, innovation, and infrastructure.
Next.
So my second topic is social inequality, and it's the global goal number 9. So what is social inequality? Social inequality is actually a pretty self-explanatory topic, but to expand more on the what of social inequality, social inequality is basically an issue within the study of sociology that focuses on the distribution of goods and burdens in society. For example, social inequality could be looking at income or education or employment and etc. One impact of social inequality is the difference of education. Some countries, such as Pakistan or Iran or other countries, still believe that girls shouldn't have the proper care and the same education that boys get. Education can not only be different in gender, but race, culture, and many more. Another impact that social inequality leaves is income. Like I said before, different people with different ethnicity can get different pays from jobs. Back when apartheid was still going on between blacks and whites, like the pay rate between them was 5 times more than blacks. Then the whites get 5.7 times more of pay than blacks did. These are just some examples, which is why social inequality is such a big issue that we need to fix. Since social equality isn't something that we can really fix, because there's still going to be 1 in 4 people who still are racist and or discriminate other people because of ethnicity or gender. You can always find, but you could still always find ways to spread awareness. One way is to maybe create a website to spread awareness and educate people on this issue. Another way is you could create a GoFundMe, which is basically like a fundraiser or a charity-based stuff to help the people in need, or to encourage other people. And maybe you could go in for girls getting their education that they need, and other people in other places. Or you could always encourage others to make a path on their own career that maybe they can't get because they're in poverty. These are only some ways to fix social inequality, but you can also always create solutions of your own. So that is it for me. I hope you guys learned some things, and I hope you guys will take a charge to go and fix this big issue that's happening right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanishka. I loved both of your global goals, and I've learned so much even after learning it in school. So next we have Ruhan talking about gender equality and recycling.
Hi everyone, I'm Ruhan. My name is Ruhan. I'll be your moderator, and I'll be talking about gender equality. Well, these are my points I'll be talking about. First is, what is it? Second is, why is it bad? Why is it bad to not recycle? And a comparison. First is, what is it? Gender equality is unequal or disadvantageous treatment of an individual or group of individuals based on gender. As you see in the picture, there's a lot of boys and one girl who's standing up in it. For example, advertising a job and saying that it is more suitable for female applicants. It's basically acting bias on either women of men to do a specific job or things to do, or when boys get to work while girls/women get to work but less salary. And when in the past girls did something boring, they had to work at home and do all the chores, while boys get to go to school or go to work, which is not rights of women, and that's not fair. Why it's bad to not why it's bad. Why it's bad. It is bad because, as I said before, that women could not work in those old days, and boys got to work and earn money, and girls were forced to get married because they need to get money, and if their daughter doesn't get married, they might not have money. That's one reason that they made marriages. And these days women get harassed, and that means there are a lot of women who changed that, and they were risk takers. And next I'll be talking about comparison of those in the olden days and now. Comparison. The comparison is in the olden days and now. Before women's and girls had to work at home, had to do all the chores at home and work at home, but not really working as boys do. Boys get to go to school and work and earn money. And this time, girls can still work, but less amount of salary, while boys always get to work and get their full salary. Next, I'll be talking about recycling. Recycling. These are my 3 points I'll be talking about. What is it? Why it's bad to not recycle, and my experience. What is recycling? Is like when you throw paper or plastic in a recycling bin nearby. It is really, if you throw it in a trash bin, it will get wasted. But if you throw it in a recycling bin, it won't get wasted. It will get regenerated into a new object, which is not even like it. Why it's bad? Why it's bad not to recycle? It is really bad because if this continues, the whole world will look like the picture on the left, and that's not fun. If the world continues this, it will look like a junkyard or even worse, and it will smell, and it can even affect people's health because all the dust produced by all the trash, you can get pneumonia ultra silicovolcanic stenosis. Pretty long, right? It is a lung disease caused by dust that's painful. And if you get it, the doctors need to cut your stomach and remove the dust. That's really crazy. Did you know that's the longest word in the world? Next is my experience. My experience is, first, when I had a trip to India, I was going to this really cool place, but it was not that cool when I was exploring the place. When I explored the place more, I saw that it was not cool. It was so gross. It kind of looked like the picture on the left, and I did not want to go near. And that was my experience. And thank you. And next, we have my sister Rithvika talking about her topic, climate change and nutrition.
Thank you, Ruhan. Hi, it's Rithvika here again, and today I'll be talking about climate change. Climate change refers to a long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, but since the 1800s, humans' activities have been the main driver of climate change. Today I'll be talking about some of the major issues that are causing climate change, which you might not have thought about. So first, let's talk about the problems and issues. More frequent and intense. Some of the problems are that there are more frequent and intense droughts, storms, heat waves, rising sea levels, melting glaciers, and warming oceans can directly harm animals, just destroy the places that we live in, and wreak havoc on people's livelihoods and communities. As climate change worsens, dangerous weather events are becoming more frequent or severe. But mainly, the main issue out of all these are greenhouse gas emissions. If you're wondering how they look like, I have it on this slide. It's the one with all the gas. I know it looks very cool to see, but it's actually drastically breaking down our environment. Basically, when greenhouse gases have far-ranging environmental health effects. They cause climate change by trapping heat, and they also contribute to respiratory disease from smog and air pollution. Extreme weather, food supply disruption, and increased wildfires are the other effects of climate change caused by greenhouse gases. This has many side effects, such as major health problems such as heart cancer and many other severe conditions that almost affect people in the future that they even die. So, possible solutions for this issue. I have one major solution, which might not seem like a lot, but it's actually going to help us if we start building with reducing greenhouse gas emissions. My solution is to win these windmills, which are shown on the slide. I know windmills aren't usually in water, but basically how this will help is most greenhouse gas emissions are work. Some of them include on like generating electricity out of coal. And that's causing so much pollution, and those pollutants are causing these health issues. So instead of using charcoal and all this, which is causing gas, we could use the pressure from the water, which is from underwater, to generate this electricity. And we could also use the pressure from the wind on top of the water to generate electricity too. And also another uh, pro about this type of solution is that some like other gas emissions which are near this windmill all the pollutants will be gone because the windmill will purify the air and remove any of these harmful chemicals. So that's basically like a win-win for both. My personal experience, actually, I think last summer, I went to a Maryland tournament, and we had to go through these fields and these big electricity thingamajiggies. And I saw many gas emissions along the way, and they're really huge, and they were breaking down coal, and there's so much gas coming out. I just couldn't imagine how much this gas would affect people now these days, and I wanted to do something. And that's when once I got to Maryland, where my parents' friends are, I realized that it's pretty like normal there because there's so many gas emissions while we're driving to Maryland to our cricket tournament. So it was kind of interesting to see that there's many around the world, and to solve this one major issue, we'll have to like keep these windmills everywhere. So I feel like this solution will have a very big impact if we actually start doing it. So I'm thinking on probably trying this out later on. Next slide. Yeah, so my second global goal is number 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institutions. What is this, you might wonder? But it's basically to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, and to provide access to justice for all and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. There's been many different problems with this, such as the Ukraine and Russia war right now. The invasion has affected many people in Ukraine, and now we have to do something about it, or else this people are saying it might turn to World War III. So we have to be careful about that. So the major issues for this global goal, because in order to accomplish the sustainable development goals, it is essential to that governments and institutions are strong enough to deal with rising global conflict and security concerns. Unfortunately, there still remains many barriers to equal justice and peace for all, and the number of global refugees continues to increase, with numbers peaking at 70 million in 2018. Issues such as corruption, unequal laws, violence against children still contribute to plague many countries across the world. The need for strong institutions with rising temperatures and increased number of climate refugees and it's still continuing for global conflict over resources. So one solution I was thinking of was so that us in the US, we have many resources that other countries mainly don't have. So I was thinking maybe we could provide the other developing countries which are not having these type of resources with some of ours, so that they can start to become more stable. And my personal experience, actually, I like 2 years ago, I went to India, and I've seen many people on the roadsides, and they were just begging for money, and it was kind of sad seeing all these people suffer there. And this is kind of causing Indians populations to lessen day by day, because many of these people in these street sides, they're not having enough food or water to survive. And I think India should actually work on this by so that us in the US, we can provide them some stuff so that they don't have to continue dealing with this. So I hope you liked both of my global goals. I feel like these have many big impact on people so far, and we still have to fix these before it becomes worse. So thank you.
Well, I learned a lot about all the stuff you said. Next, we have Aarushi talking about her topic.
So what I have 4 pointers. First is, what is considered clean water? Why do I want this goal? And why doesn't the world already have clean water, and ways to make water cleaner? So what is considered clean water? Clean water is considered water that will not harm you if you come in contact with it. When we're talking about clean water, we are often referring to drinking water, but it's also essential that water in the sea is also clean, which is what I'm talking about. Clean drinking water is also important, but the sea is being destroyed rapidly, and I agree with that too. Why do I want this goal? I want this goal because it was one of the main reasons of climate change, which can kill some humans, and because of the garbage in the ocean, it can cause floods too. Also, many animals and humans get sick because of this. So that is something we all want to improve. If we want to make the ocean cleaner, then it will also be better for us. In addition to being better for the environment. We can use the ocean, but only if we keep it clean. The ocean is also a big problem now, with things like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and huge piles of trash in the ocean. Why doesn't the world already have clean water? The world doesn't already have clean water because we don't care. We're dumping huge piles of trash into the ocean every day, and it's polluting it a whole lot. Since we have so much trash, I want the water to be clean. Ways to make the water cleaner. While the ocean is still dirty, people
are cleaning up the ocean, but with robots. This is what Team Seas is doing, and it's one of the ways to help the ocean become cleaner. We can even help the ocean by donating money too. Next. So, sanitation. First, I'll have 3 points. So first, why is sanitation a problem? Why is it one of my goals? And how we can make the world cleaner. So first, why is sanitation a problem? If there is no sanitation, a problem can happen because it can cause people to get sick and or die. For example, COVID-19 spread faster because people did not wash their hands, thus making it an issue for sanitation. If people had washed their hands and used hand sanitizer, COVID-19 would not have spread as fast or killed as many people. Next, I'll be talking about why sanitation is one of my goals. If people were clean just like with the spread of COVID-19, most diseases or infections won't be spread as fast, and so we will have less infections. If people don't get sick as much, then it would be amazing. This is also an issue of personal hygiene. We are supposed to wash our hands every single day or take a shower every day, but most people don't do that, and we've only started doing that since COVID-19 came. Ways to make the world cleaner are washing our hands, obviously, and sneezing or coughing in your arm. All of these could prevent new diseases and pandemics from breaking out, making the world a better place. Next. Equal wealth. I have 3 points, which is, what is equal wealth? Why don't we have equal wealth yet? And what do I want equal wealth? Why do I want equal wealth as a goal? For my goal, I choose equal wealth. Equal wealth is when everybody has the same amount of money. This necessarily means that there are no extremely rich people and no poverty-stricken people. Rather than billionaires and people who only make $1 a day, everyone would have enough money to live comfortably, because when all the money is spread out, everyone will have enough. Why don't we have equal wealth yet? Next, we don't have equal wealth because simply the very rich hoard the money, while the very poor have no way of making enough money. However, if we all had enough money, nobody would be homeless or in poverty. Since equal wealth would let everybody live comfortably and could get rid of anyone in poverty. It would help them have a better life while they'll have something to eat. Equal wealth couldn't easily happen if billionaires stopped hoarding their money. Thank you.
Thank you, Aarushi. Yeah, I can relate to how I started getting more into clean sanitation after COVID started up. I got more sensitive about what I would how many times I'm doing that, and if I'm doing it or not. Okay, next. Next we have Sean, who will be talking about sustainable communities and cities and no poverty.
Hello everyone, it's Sean again, and my first topic will be sustainable cities and communities. So, what is sustainability? That will help us understand the main goal. So, sustainability is making a good world for the future. Basically, it's having enough resources for the next generations and taking materials and putting them back. Think of it like a weight scale. I put one on screen. Yeah, think of it like a weight scale. So if we have trees on one side click. So if we had trees on one side and we take them out and put them on the other side, we have to refill or restock the supplies, or in this case, replant. You gotta click again. So sustainability is maintaining our resources for the future. Next, how are cities / communities becoming unstable? The main way cities become unstable is people are taking too many materials and not restocking them. Cutting trees but not replanting, overfishing, and air pollution are some of the main factors. Air pollution and not replanting trees go hand in hand. If you don't replant trees, then CO2 levels from factories get released too much, and that can lead to unhealthy cities. Or overfishing. This can lead to food chains collapsing and not enough food for everyone. All of this can make life for the future generations a lot tougher. Finally, the good part. How can we make sustainable cities and communities? Like, there are lots of ways cities can become unstable. There are lots of ways we can stabilize them. For example, we can plant a bunch of trees so the scale will be balanced. Because right now we are using more than we have. Team Trees was a mass tree planting group. They planted over 8 million trees in places that have the scale unbalanced, such as India, Africa, and a bunch of other cities with high levels of consumption. This is one way. This is one example, but there are a bunch of ways to make sustainable cities and communities. Next, we have my other topic, which is no poverty. So let's start with the beginning. What is poverty? You may think poverty is not enough money for a person, but poverty is actually lack of important things such as water, food, healthcare, etc. Poverty is living on $1.90 per day. Imagine this. If you go to McDonald's, a shake is $3. 2/3 of that is sometimes the amount of money people get if they are living in poverty. Per day, over 50% of the population is experiencing poverty. As you can see, poverty is not a small thing. This is why we have to take it out or eliminate it. So we got to start it at the roots. How does poverty happen? Poverty can happen in a variety of ways. One way it can happen is natural disasters. They can completely destroy houses, offices, and even hospitals. These are all vital things for humans to live. Also, another way it can happen is economic damage to communities, states, or even countries. As shown by the Soviet Union, the whole country collapsed after World War II. Ever since then, it was a big country, Russia. Finally, a person can go into poverty because of discrimination. This is the saddest one. People being judged by their race, history, or color. They can be kicked out of homes or jobs just because of any of these things. Finally, how can we take away poverty? We have discussed what it is, but now is the best part. How can we take it away? We can do a bunch of things, for example, donating charities that help families and people in hunger. One charity that my family goes to is FMSC, or Feed My Starving Children. This organization takes care of the hunger side of poverty, providing healthy and nutritious food for people who can't afford it. Did you know that if every person that is able to donate $1 per day does donate, we can raise more than $3.5 billion per day? The UN says it would take about $175 billion to end world poverty. So if we do the maths, it would take about 50 days to end world hunger. Think of that. World poverty. Think of that. You could donate $50 or more, and you would be contributing to stopping poverty. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, I agree with no poverty. We should actually start looking into this issue because many developing countries are facing issues with low resources and food. Next,
Hi,
we
my
have
name
Sean.
is Ishan, and I'm talking about life below water. First, what is life below water? Life below water is anything in the ocean, lakes, or ponds. That includes fishes, whales, sharks, seahorses, etc. Second, why is this important? Life below water is important because if we don't have life below water, then we can't eat because we need food to eat, and life below water like fish, salmon, and other stuff we eat a lot. And if we didn't have that, that would be eliminating one of the things we eat a lot. Third, what is the thing that's destroying life below water? Pollution. I've seen people drop Coke bottles and other stuff by the shore, and that gets swept up by the waves. After that goes into the ocean, the fishes can get trapped and get killed in those bottles. Also, one of the things that kills more fishes is overfishing. Even though we need fish to live, we don't need that much. Most fishers just drop one of a really big nets to grab like hundreds of fish at a time. And that's really not good because we don't need that much. They should like the easiest way to stop this is fish getting less of the fish, but if they think business is going to go bad, they should move up the price. That's how it normally works if you have less of a product. And the way to stop all of this is just leave them alone. Aquariums, most people like. I like them too, but like because they rescue endangered animals. But one of the weird things is that they will just take animals that are not endangered at all, just random animals. They just do it, sort of not like zoos, because zoos are normally all endangered or animals that get hurt. Thank you. Or Ishan, I learned a lot about life below water and how you said pollution and how you said about fishers who catch a lot of fish and the fish die. Next we have Manaswini talking about zero hunger.
Intro. Hunger is leading to people dying because people that are poor or homeless can't provide food to eat, so they don't eat a lot. But when it happens, not eating good food can kill people easily. Not just some people, there are millions that can't provide good food. What is it? Zero hunger means end hunger, but not really. Means achieve food security, improved and good nutrition. In my words, helping those who are trying to get food. There are kids out there needing food to survive, but how would they afford it? Why does it matter? Zero hunger creates a trap that people can't escape. Without food, others can get sick. Just like they can't afford food, how would they afford a doctor? This makes their life a risk. Nearly 800 million who suffer from hunger worldwide. We all want our families to have enough food. What about the ones who are sitting outside? They need a life too. Luckily, by 2030, they will access poor to get good and well nutrition. How can we change this? There are many ways we can end hunger. The easy one is donating food to charity. Why we give money to shelters is not for them to keep. It's giving to people that need it. We can build more homeless shelters and provide good food. The big one is not wasting food. Instead, we can give it to the people that need it. Helping can change people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Manaswini. I actually also see poor people on the roadsides, and our family is very supportive of that. So I like how you included that. Next, we have Kashvi.
Pollution, I'm going to talk about the goal life below water. Pollution and overfishing. One of the goals is the sustainable life below the water. 30% of carbon dioxide observed by ocean water, which get polluted by factories. Plastic and other garbage also goes into the water. Pollution leads to overfishing. When we fish a lot of fishes die, and human grows and lose their fish food supply. How could you fix pollution and overfishing? We could fix pollution by using things which are natural, like eating more vegetables and fruits, and less fishing. We can also use less chemicals and carbon dioxide. Thank you.
I learned a lot about life below water and how it gets polluted and people overfish. Next we have Rue talking about her topic.
Hello everyone. As I said, I'll be talking about life on land. And I'll be talking about how people are harming the land, how people can help the land, and facts. People are harming the land by cutting down forests to make cities, communities, and factories. I'll talk about how factories are harming the animals real quickly. Factories are harming the animals because they're polluting the air. And do you know what animals breathe? They breathe air. And if animals can't breathe good air, they could get sick and they could die. And we don't want that. But they're mostly cut down to make cities and communities. Because of that, animals are losing their home, and so they have to run all the way to a new home. And during that journey, they might not reach food or shelter if it's raining or thunderstorming, and they might die on the way. And some animals can get endangered or even extinct, and that's not good. Team Trees was a tree planting group that planted trees, and they planted trees, which is good because if they cut down trees and forests, that means less trees, as I just said, and less trees means less oxygen because trees get carbon dioxide and then they turn it into oxygen that all of us can breathe. Team Trees planted 8 billion trees, and that helps save animals and sometimes humans. How people can help the land. We can help by recycling paper, planting trees, and reusing paper, like I said, and reusing maybe cardboard boxes and other things. You can reduce like using more paper, because like if you if you cut paper and if you cut a little bit of it, you can still use the other parts to make another craft. And finally, and the most biggest one you probably can do every single day is recycling. If you find a bottle or like any plastic or paper on the ground, put it in and recycle it, because sometimes the wind can put it all the way in forests or oceans, and they can mistake that for food, and they might get trapped or sick, and that's not good too. Now I'll be talking about facts. One sec. Okay. First, my fact is 15 billion trees are cut down a year. That means 8,000 trees are cut a day. And that's not good, because if more trees are being cut down, then that means less oxygen, like I told you. And at the very least, the animals who need homes, because people are cutting down trees, and trees are like shelters for animals, they will get hurt very badly, and lots of people don't want that. So I hope that by 2030, life on land grows and we can save that. I hope that life on land can still stay alive and nothing bad happens between the time gap. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree with how we're causing so much deforestation to the forest that it's pushing human animals away from their habitats. Next, we have Ananya.
Hello, it's me, Ananya, again. As I said before, the goals I chose to talk about are good health and well-being and quality education. First up is good health and well-being. What is it, and what does it mean? Well, the goal is basically to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being at all ages is essential to sustainable development. The global goals are also called the Sustainable Development Goals. So this goal is essential to all the goals. These goals are meant to be reached by 2030. Overall, it means to guarantee good health services to all ages, no matter what. How many people are affected? This problem is major for about 82 million people around the world. Those many people will be helped if this goal is reached. Part of this is because people eat junk food. This is a major reason for this problem to be so big. Why is it important? This goal is important because many people need it, and it's a problem for so many people, and because it ties up with other goals such as poverty and gender discrimination. Now let's move on to the next goal, quality education. Do you know Malala Yousafzai? One famous story is that she and other girls protested in front of a school so that girls could go to school just like boys. Now let's go to the points. What is it? Why is it important? Sustainable Development Goal 4, quality education, aims at ensuring inclusive and equal quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. This goal ensures that all girls and all boys complete free schooling by 2030. It is basically giving schooling for free for all ages. How many people are affected? A whopping 759 million people are affected and didn't or don't have quality education. This means that even adults didn't have it when they were little. So it's a pretty big problem because it's not just for kids, but also for adults. Why is it important? This is important because it's linked to other goals and has a huge number of people struggling with it. Another reason why this goal is important because people struggle with it no matter which age they are. Because as I mentioned before, it can either be an adult or a little kid. Overall, these 17 goals, and especially these two, are pretty important. Thank you.
I really learned a lot. I really learned a lot from your two topics. And next we have our conclusion.
Thank you, Ruhan. Yeah, I agree with all you guys. All these goals, I wouldn't say there's one very important one, but all of them are kind of interlocked, and we'll discuss that in the interactions and Q&A. But to end this the slideshow, I have one quote which I thought stood out a lot to me, which is, "What is the use of a house if you don't have a decent planet to put it on?" By Henry David Thoreau. I think this quote is really important because around us there's many bad things that are happening that we're not taking in charge and we're solving, and sooner or later our world is gonna become like a junkyard, as Johan said, and we have to finish it, like resolve these before the whole planet turns into some trash. So we have to start because we're young, we can become teen activists and take in charge of finding solutions to all these problems. And I think each one of us has what it takes to try to find solutions for each of these global goals, even before 2030. Over to you, Ruhan.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ritu. And so and I know, like, if you have a house, but then you need a really good planet to keep it on, because if there's bad everywhere, what's the use of having a house? And next we have our interaction and Q&A. So anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have a few questions. So my first one is, so do you actually think that these goals will be reached by 2030? And do you think yes or no?
Yes, of course, if everybody participates.
Okay. Next is there any other problems, like major problems, you think should be added to these goals? To these 17 goals, do you think there's any other other problems that we have that could be added as a goal?
I had an answer for the first one. I think yes, because maybe there's like not that much goals, but they're really specific and really good goals. So I think yes, they can achieve it by 2030.
Yeah, adding on to Ruhan, I think these goals, I wouldn't call them like really easy, because this is something that we're working on the whole world to achieve on, and like some countries are developing still, and some countries are already like fully packed and they're all developed. But I feel like mainly we have to like remember which countries are dealing like low, and then give them some things to boost them up. And I feel like we can achieve this by then, because we have like many youngsters, as I said before, around the world, which are actually taking action. Like Ananya said, Malala, she was a really great person who was fighting for education. And I think if we all like put our minds to it, and we start like making different objects or things that can help in our own way, like even a small difference can change the world. So I think that everyone else can work on like at least a solution for one of these goals.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Ananya, for your previous question, I have an answer. So
Yeah.
It was like what I'm not sure if it was you or Ruhan, but one of you asked what global goals should we add, or like what problems should we add?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, maybe like there's lots of I guess like there's lots of I guess like
Maybe
rumors, I guess, like of like I mean like I think about like all the wars that are happening right now. It's kind of like the peace and justice one that Rithvika talked about, but like just like
Another
not
one that
having
might go together is life on land and life below water. Yeah, like we could, adding on to Sean, like we could like set up like a goal which works on like giving money to any of these like in the upcoming years.
to any countries that are like that have been like attacked, like a relief like all countries are equal, or like something like that, because lots of countries have been still very undeveloped after some certain wars that they face, or just in general. So like developing
Like a relief fund,
countries.
like a relief fund for like countries which are feeling.
Yeah, so like developing countries, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I have 2 more questions. So how do you think the world will change if these goals are reached? How do you think the world will change?
I think it'll change in a very good way. With all these different things that make our world a better place, I think that everyone like will have like equal rights, and
So I wouldn't call this planet a really bad place, but it's kind of bad because there's a lot of stuff that the world needs to achieve. And I think
mom needs to achieve some stuff. Yeah, I feel like it would have like a very dramatic change if we were actually to do all these goals, because as Rohan said, there's been like so many issues happening, like because like some countries, they have like different issues. Like one country might have a problem with clean water and sanitation, another one might have poverty, and we have to deal with both issues in order for the whole world to be successful. So I feel like if these goals actually fully get accomplished to all countries, it could actually benefit us in a very like important.
Yeah, I agree. I have one last thing. So, like how there's this Russia and Ukraine war, and like with that, do you think that like all these countries will work properly and reach the goals as a team thing, or do you think they'll kind of like fight over it? I guess.
Yeah, the thing is that what is it? Ukraine has allies beside it, and even if like any country, like even if Russia plans to like do anything with the country, that's the thing. Like
guys, we're not talking about wars here. We're talking about global goals.
But like
we should not get into that stuff.
I know, but
the last one. So the last one, like partnerships for the goals. That's kind of what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the thing is that like this is where all those like I don't know who was describing about something about resources, but I feel like those resources would come handy, and Tanishka described it. So those things would come handy in this condition, because like the allies for Ukraine will actually support Ukraine if they have any issues, so that's pretty important. Okay, one last question before we end the webinar. So what global goals do you guys think connect to each other?
Definitely life on land and life on water. And reduced equalities and wait, no. Was it reduced equalities?
Wait, can you like repeat the question?
Yeah, so for the last global goal, which was number 17, which I thought we could discuss in interactions. So what do you guys think partnership of the goals? So which goals do you guys think would work very fine together?
Can I answer first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think no poverty and zero hunger. Go good. Also quality education and good health and well-being. They're both about good things, and they're both essential.
Yeah, so Shrikati, do you have anything to add about like after watching this whole webinar for an hour? So do you think there's any goals that you think would match together?
Yeah, so I feel like life on land and life below water kind of go together because they both are trying to work on like pollution and different things to just make them better. And then I kind of like decent work and economic growth, maybe with like industry innovation and infrastructure, maybe also maybe gender equality and reduced inequalities might go well together, or like clean water and sanitation with like the other recycling, I think is the one. And then I think no poverty kind of works well with quality education, zero hunger, and good health and well-being, because how Sean said, like, it's not just having less money, it's also with other things. And also it kind of works well with like equal wealth.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go ahead, Shrikati.
I guess I agree with all of you.
Okay. Aarushi, go ahead.
I just have like a noticing both the team on trees and team C's. Most people got I because of Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah. So I agree with all you guys, as Shrikati said. Oh, okay. So, but I think honestly, all these goals are like together. I guess they all are together in one way or another. Because after hearing about different goals from you guys, I've seen many similarities between most of the goals. And I feel like there's no right or wrong answer for this, but like after viewing all your goals, I feel like all of them had like something in common with the rest. So I just think all goals are all interlocked. That's why there are 7 interlocked goals for the UN.
Right. Excellent job, Rithvika and RUHAAN and the whole team. Really proud of you that it was a huge topic, culminating 17 of global goals. It's not a matter of joke, and you did it really good. But I really want to talk to Srikriti, since she has been hearing it for the last 1 hour almost. So Srikriti, what do you find? Because what did you like about the webinar, or you did not like something about the webinar?
I mean, everything was really good. They all have really good information.
Okay, your friend is smiling, saying that you will say something good, right? Or what about something that you did not like? Okay, let's.
I see both of them.
Huh?
I see both of them.
You see both of them and they are smiling? Okay, so they want to know what you did not like.
I mean, there's nothing that I didn't like because everybody did a really good job. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so do you have anything to add, or do you think that something coming to, I know you are not at all, you were not part of it. You just came in as guest. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but if you want to add any points.
I mean, everything was really good. I don't think there's anything bad in it.
No, I'm not saying anything was bad, but I'm saying that you want to add. Do you want to add anything?
No.
Okay. And I saw somebody else, but I think she left. But yeah, that was anything else you guys wanted to discuss or anything?
Nope, I think.
So if not, then yeah, we are 10 minutes past our time. But when we talk about global goals, when we talk about sustainable development goals, this is to protect the planet, to protect our the place we live in. That's the most important part, and so that we can enjoy, we can live a happy life. So that's very important. We are extremely glad from the LetUsTalkIt team that you guys are thinking on those terms. You are putting in your thoughts. When one seed of thought starts germinating, You never know who will take it to which form. So with that hope that we will have a wonderful planet to live on and pass it to our next generation, we end this session. Have a wonderful weekend, all of you, and see you at the prep session on Tuesday at the 8:30 p.m. EST. Thank you, Ruhan. Thank you, Rithvika. You did a wonderful job. And the rest of the kids as well.
Thank you,
Bye.
Julian. Bye, everyone.
Julian, bye.
Bye.